So we've been saying to you, we've offered over time a lot of ideas that you might apply, but we want you to think now about what you might do moment by moment, segment by segment of your life experience to be a cooperative component with your own expansion. Because when you've expanded and you don't go, you don't feel good. And when you've expanded and you're moving in the direction of it, you do feel good. Satisfaction comes from one place and one place only, and that's you moving in the direction of your own desire. Otherwise, even moving in the direction of someone else's desire for you doesn't feel good. Moving in the direction of what somebody else wants. Your employer wants things from you, but that's not as satisfying for you as you moving toward what you want. You should all be self-employed. Even if you work for someone else, you should consider yourself self-employed. You should consider yourself a self-advocate, a self-aligner. In other words, you shouldn't try to get on the coattails of somebody else's desire, because it will never work for you. You will never get what you're looking for when you're letting someone else call your shots. You will never feel satisfaction when you are trying to do the things that fulfill someone else's need. You get that? So consider this. You're really going to like this. So if you've been listening to us for a while, you've been hearing us talking about meditation. Meditation is the most powerful tool for coming into vibrational alignment with that pure, positive, non-resisted thought. Oh. Meditation is the way you get in on that power, the power that creates worlds. Meditation is the way you get there. What happens during meditation? An effective meditation, you focus on something meaningless. Esther likes the air conditioner noise because she lives in hot places and there usually is one. And then when she's not in a hot place, she puts her phone app on and listens to Central Air. Really, she does that. She does that. Central Air does not produce any judgment in Esther. She does not think, I've heard better. So an effective meditation is you find something to focus upon that quiets your mind, because it's not juicy, it's not meaty, it's not about anything that really matters. And so your mind quiets, which usually what that means is your resistance subsides. And when your resistance subsides, then the natural rising of your vibration occurs until you are at the frequency, you are vibrationally compatible to the frequency of what's going on over here in your vortex, to your inner being. And when that happens, then the movie starts to play. Sometimes it's a visual thing, sometimes it's an auditory thing. Consider this. You're really going to like this. So let's say you decided that you're going to meditate and you were going to allow your vibration to rise and you were going to receive the movie. And when that movie comes, what it is, it just feels good when it comes. And it's about the weirdest things. It's not about saving the world usually, or any of the big things that you think you're working on. It's about things that are pleasurable to you that you can receive right now. And so it could be about seeing someone's face or a dog licking your face. One time it was Esther saw a documentary on a mother bear and a baby bear, and they were taking the honey from the big tree. She saw this on television. They were licking the honey from each other, and the narrator was saying that, look at the love that these bears are feeling for each other. And Esther thought, it's the honey. It's the honey they're after. But that caused her to ask the question about how the bears really are feeling. Is it the honey? And so in one of her meditations, there were bears loving each other and there was no honey involved. In that quieted space, that question was answered for her in a vivid daydream, so to speak, a daydream. And so we want you to focus with us a little bit on putting yourself in a position where you can be in the receiving mode of the daydream that's coming from the influence of source. Because you could be, and often are, we love you so much, having a daydream under the influence of something else. In sleep state, you call them dreams and nightmares, but you do the same thing in daydreams. There's daydreams and day nightmares. Wait, that didn't sound right. There's daydreams and daymares. In other words, it could go either way depending upon what you're under the influence of. So consider this. You've decided to set aside a little bit of time. 20 minutes is really enough. And any more than that, from our perspective, is too much. So you sit to quiet your mind, and before you do, a sort of thing is crossing your mind. That email you read, what were they thinking? Why would they send that to me? Why would that even happen? Now this is a movie that's playing, isn't it? You know those movies that play. But now you know, while that movie's playing, that you're under the influence of something other than source. Yeah? So you focus back on the sound of the air conditioner. And it's sweet relief from that daydream you were having. In fact, it causes that daydream to fade into the background because you've quieted your mind and you're now not active with whatever happened. The thing that person did that you think that they did, or the disappointment you had over something. The focus on something that doesn't matter, like the air conditioning sound, causes you to deactivate the vibration so that that's not active. So that movie can't play. Yeah? So if that movie is playing, don't be mad at yourself or at the movie. Just know why it's playing. That's what's active in your vibration. So what are you going to do? Are you going to create another movie? No, you can't do that. If you try to create another movie, you'll just amplify the movie that's already going, because you received it. You were in the receiving mode of that. You hear what we're saying? That movie that's playing, you didn't sit to meditate and say, I'm going to think about all these rotten people and all the rotten things they've done to me, or the state of this or the state of that. You didn't sit deliberately intending to do it. You're just doing it because it's active in your vibration. So what's your remedy? What's the most you can do for yourself under those conditions? Focus on the sound of the air conditioner, or whatever it is you're using. Flickering flame, dripping faucet, doesn't matter what it is as long as it distracts you. So now you bring yourself back to that state of distraction, and you start to feel the detachment in your body. Maybe a little numbness. Eventually you can't tell your foot from your nose, but you might even feel some movement up the back of your neck. It's different for each of you. Doesn't matter. Don't try to direct it. This is not your movie to direct. So as you quiet your mind, that movie from the influence of resistance subsides. And as you find that quiet place, you might be 10 minutes into your meditation or even more. And then as you really accomplish that feeling of detachment, then another movie may begin to play. And you'll know what influence you're under by how the movie feels while it plays. You see what we're getting at? This is how you come to know what influence you're under. And it's your best chance of coming to know that, because when you're out in the world, life is coming at you so fast in response to the vibration that you've been offering. In other words, there's already a momentum going, and it's hard to break it. It's hard to break it, but it's easy to break it if you are sitting quietly and breathing and listening to something that's causing a releasing of resistance. Even yesterday, as Esther sat to meditate, she got some of this movie, and then she focused again, and then she got some more of this movie, and then she focused again, and then she got some more of this movie, and then she focused again, and then that movie didn't come back, and another one began to play. You see what we're getting at? You have to find a way of showing yourself what influence you are under. And that doesn't mean that contrast won't come or that resistant things won't come. It just means you'll spend less time in them. Esther had a day the other day, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, because she's working on something. Problem solution, and then it sort of flipped. Solution, 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 and then it was problem solution, so close together that she has a stream that flows through her garden, and someone was coming, and it mattered to her that when they got there they could experience the deliciousness of this stream. This stream flows all day and all night, every day and every night, and Esther loves it so much. It's her favorite thing for somebody that she loves to see. So somebody was coming, and the night before, Esther walked up her path and she stood and looked at the stream, and she thought, stream, I love you so much, thank you for being so steady. And the next morning her gardeners came, and her company was coming, and she asked her gardeners to just brush things off and make it look as nice as she could, because someone special was coming. And she went out, and the stream was not running, because the gardeners decided this would be a good day to clean the filter. And then they lost the prime in the pump, and then they couldn't get it going. And Esther did not like it. She didn't like it so much, their hands became inoperative, because they care so much about what Esther thinks. And the look on her face, she was trying to use nice words, but she was clearly distressed about this. And some words accidentally slipped out, like, why now? What were you thinking? Why would you do that today? So they didn't get the stream going. And the next day they didn't get the stream going either. And the next day they didn't get the stream going. And so Esther's sitting to meditate. The movie that's playing is They Killed My Stream. And I'm going to kill them. And then she remembered what we've been talking about. She remembered that her vibration, her point of attraction, cannot be about what's happening. Otherwise, nothing can ever change. It can't get better. It can't get better until your vibration is in a place where you let what you want in. So never before has she wanted that as much as she now wants it. But never before had she been more contradictory to her own desire, because the reality had gone on for 3 days. So now she's meditating, listening to the damn central air. And knowing what she's got to do, knowing that she's got to let that go. She's got to let go what's happening before what she wants can happen. So she managed it. Central air was extra sweet to her that day. She focused. She felt the relief of the non-thought. And then other movies played that had nothing to do with the stream, because the stream movie couldn't play without activating the other movie. And inner being and source is smart enough to know that. So we don't stir up trouble like you all do. We didn't poke at her. Ready for the good thoughts about the stream? No. We projected other thoughts that are easy for her. We thought about things that we knew she could easily tap into, that had nothing to do with this thing that would stir up trouble for her. You get it? You might want to try that for yourself and your friends and your family and your kids. So, blissful thought. She came out of meditation and had a thought. I'm going to call the man who built the stream to begin with. Guess where he was? On her street. Guess how long it took him to get there? 2 minutes. Guess how long it took him to fix the stream? 5 minutes. Power of non-resisted thought. Those guys would have figured it out eventually. They were close, but Esther's doubt was too strong. A lot of well-intentioned people are hovering around you, incapable of giving you what you want because your expectation is working against it. Yeah. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely.